Jesus Christ, what a fucking mess that was. Oh, God, it's hard for me to remember what had happened beforehand. Anyways, hello everybody, and welcome to the finale of Let's Play Super Mario Sunshine. We have received all the Shine Sprites. I know it only shows we have 119 out of the 120 of them, but there's actually just but the last one is just going to be after the final boss, so don't worry, guys. So, we did it. We got all the Shine Sprites in each world, plus the goddamn blue coin mission. Holy shit, I never want to go back over there ever again. And now that I'm all sober and all better now, and actually in my normal state of mind, instead of, you know, the jackass persona that I was beforehand, what do you say we go ahead and finish this goddamn game once and for all, after all the shit that we had to go through, and, you know, oh man, after all the trial and errors and everything and all that, and, you know, this whole community service that was pointless and stupid and obnoxious, and all the troubles we had to go through. Now we're gonna go inside Corona Mountain once and for all, and no, that is actually not where the beer surges came from, and that is also most definitely not where that whole mess brought upon all over the world with the you know, that whole virus that, you know, that caught everybody, and, you know, that just you know, spread all over the world. I don't know think about that anymore. No, it's a volcano, so. Anyway, so I know we were here a couple times. You know, for one thing, we're just here to, you know, solve the whole flooding issue of Isle Delfino, or Delfino Plaza, and we were also in there to get the last 10 of the blue coins that were even in here too. And I guess because I was so fucking shit-faced beforehand that I never got to explain the whole thing about it. Well, I don't think I ever did though. I don't remember. I can't really remember what it was I have said before previously when I was so shit-faced. But here in Corona Mountain, yeah, you go across these worlds. There's this fire that comes out of them. There's also spikes. Now, you really do want to be careful with spikes because like, you know, whenever you get into when Mario gets hit by the spikes, technically it takes 3 hits for him to actually for him to get killed, but he is completely locked in to the spikes. So, you know, it's essentially is a one-hit kill is what it is. And also the fire, you know, I think that's also instant death, or, you know, he just takes damage and all that, but you still get locked in. So maybe the same with spikes, though, but that's all there is. So, and then we have the second half of this mountain where you have we have this boat. I mean, at least it's made of stone though, so I mean, just going across lava here. And just like with the lily pads, you just had to, you know, just push the canoe over with flood, and it's always hard to control too, because, like, you know, because you want to make sure to get to the right direction of sporting flood. You don't want to do this constantly, because, you know, I mean, what you want to do is just, like, you know, just tap the R button, and, you know, just get a good direction. But sometimes it feels finicky and all that, and, you know, just it takes a while to actually just get used to, because even when you are pretty you're actually well accustomed to the controls, it still can be pretty tedious. And one thing you also want to watch out for is that you want to make sure not to hit the walls, because if the canoe ever so much as, you know, just makes a tipping point against the wall itself, it completely shakes around constantly, and it immediately sinks down, and you have to hurry and escape. And unfortunately, it does not respawn. So yeah, so you have to hurry and get out of there to find some kind of safe platform, which thankfully we did here. And so now here we are at this section, which we haven't gone up to, and so we see these shadows here. Those are all the cloud platforms. So with the rocket nozzle that we have here, all we gotta do is just get up to the cloud platforms, and then just go on top of them. I had to make sure to just you know, just go around them, because, like, I'm not quite sure if they're supposed to be, like, you know, solid objects that, you know, really go through those, or Mario just doesn't go, like, completely through those cloud platforms, but. But yeah, I also kind of missed my jumps a few times, because the controls of having to maneuver Mario when using the rocket nozzle is a little clunky, I would say. Where you have to just, you know, be very careful with having to, you know, just steer him over to where you want him to go. But then once we get to the tippy top, you see the dark red cloud platform, then that's where we should begin the final boss. So yeah, we're getting pretty close, so just a few more to go. And there it is right here, so let's go and launch yourself over here, and there we go.
The water's great, hey, Junior?
Sure is, Papa. Come on in, Mama Peach. I think not. Mario! You again? Don't you
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
Alright, folks, so here we are at long last, coming face to face against Bowser. Wow, it actually took until the finale to actually see Bowser in person. And so now he's having a nice, well, he's in this hot tub, and we basically disturbed his vacation, and he doesn't actually do anything at all. Well, let me just go and talk about this boss fight. So, what we have to do is, you see these other platforms. You have to use the rocket nozzle, and you have to launch yourself up, and then you have to make this real big, heavy ground pound. And there's actually 5 of them in total. And then once you get all 5, then that's when the battle's over. So it's pretty quick. Watch out for the bullet bills. Although you can actually just jump on the blue ones to refill the water tank. But I never get to do that as well. But you want to watch out for the water bill, or the bullet bills too. The other thing Bowser will do is that he'll also breathe fire, of course, like he always does. So, but then whenever you ground pound on those other sections, and they start to crumble, you have to hurry and get back onto the platform. And yeah, that's when Bowser Jr. will try to shoot more of these bullet bills. So you want to watch out for that too. And can I just say though, like, this is probably the least threatening Bowser's ever been, because because he really doesn't really do anything. Well, he does send Bowser Jr. out to actually go and cause trouble in Isle Delfino and get Mario arrested, but other than that, though, he's also having a vacation. Doesn't really do much of anything at all. So, yeah, they got rid of the menacing aspect of Bowser. That's disappointing. But then, there we go. Yep, that was it. That was his fight. So, yeah, that was pretty quick and anticlimactic, I would say.
Mario, was I,
Oh, he's gonna be okay. We all know that.
Mario, look.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about Princess Peach.
I know, she's not really my mama. Someday, when I'm bigger, I wanna fight that Mario again.
That's right, boy. Well put, son. The Royal Koopa line is as strong as ever. But for now, let's just rest a while.
Oh, Bowser, you're such a damn good dad, you know? Told you!
The vacation starts now.
Yes, I agree. The vacation does start now. We're long overdue for that after all the shit we had to do. But all right, folks. So yeah, this is it. This is the end of Super Mario Sunshine and the end of this Let's Play. And whew, man, what a ride! Holy shit! I was so looking forward to being done with this goddamn game. Well, okay. I'll just go ahead and say what my thoughts is now. What my thoughts are, and I'll just go and start with the positives at the very least. So. I do like how the game plays, though. Control-wise or mechanically speaking, it can be fun, because Mario does control pretty well, though, and also, pretty smooth control. I do love how Flood works because he can be very fun to use, especially with the hover nozzle, and and the visuals and also the graphics. Great looking game too, especially on the GameCube. You know, it's very colorful, you know, all vibrant as well, you know, it's very beautiful to look at, and so, you know, I love how the game looks, and also good soundtrack as well, so, you know, it's, you know, all the good stuff, you know, visually speaking, and, you know, and of course, you know, I would actually really enjoy the game if you're, if I'm only going after the main story Shine Sprites, but unfortunately, though, since I actually did 100% completion, twice actually, you know, one for practice and one for this Let's Play, yeah, that's where, like, okay, I'm just done with this, because, like, you know, if you're actually doing 100% completion, like getting all the Shine Sprites, and also the blue coins, yeah, that's at the point where, like, okay, yeah, that game sucks then. But, you know, since after I got everything, then, you know, I should have a nice little sweet reward, don't I? So let's see what the reward's gonna be. What'd you say? Yeah, let's see. It should be a good one, too. Oh, it better be. Oh, I can't wait. A postcard. Okay, anyway, so one more thing I do want to show off, though, yeah, after a lot we got to do. So, once you get all 120 of the Shine Sprites, if you talk to this guy here, he's the same guy who gives you the sunshades that darkens the screen, but he also gives you something else as well. And that is this nice little tropical shirt that we have right here. And Mario looks so fashionable with that here. He looks so nice. It looks very much summer-esque. And so, yeah, both the sunglasses. Look at that. He looks so cool, doesn't he? Look how cool he looks. He really gets some nice vibes here, and all the shirt, you know, very Merriman Screams Vacation here, would you say? So yeah, it doesn't really do much, unfortunately. I mean, it does darken the screen here to, you know, to those people who don't really like how bright the game is. So, you know, there's that at least. But, you know, it's a nice, cool looking shirt. So yeah, nice little clothing reward. And so yeah, that's one thing I do want to show off, though. You know, because I mean, I hate to leave that one out here. So let's go ahead, and if I can actually get those doors, and, you know, just have that last shot of the game with Mario having having that shirt on. That's the nice button shirt, and shine. Yeah, Mario looks very shiny here, even though it looks all dark here. All right, and so yeah, so that was it for the Let's Play. So yeah, like I said, you know, from a gameplay stance, I mean, the game can be perfectly fine, and sometimes it can be fun too. That's only if you're going after the mandatory Shine Sprites, you know, therefore not doing 100% completion. But if you are actually doing 100% completion, then that's where the game actually shows its true colors. And you know, to talk about, you know, all these negative aspects about this, and, you know, since I did 100% completion, there's like a lot of the Shine Sprites that are absolutely fucking obnoxious to get, and especially having to do the blue point missions, and some of the like especially some of the 8th episodes, and also the secret shines as well. Like, they are very notorious for how, you know, badly designed they are. I think they're badly designed is what they are, and unfortunately, Nintendo clearly did not playtest this whole thing. I am that convinced that they did not playtest the whole thing, and then just left it at that. And I guess I'm pretty sure that whoever designed these must have gotten fired, though. I could be wrong, but I would like to be right about that, at the very least, so, because holy shit, because I'm pretty sure that, you know, they thankfully learned the lesson by the time Super Mario Galaxy. That's why I fucking love Super Mario Galaxy. But yeah, other than that, like, you know, the Shine Sprites can be absolutely obnoxious to get if you're doing 100% completion here. And, you know, especially the blue coins. And also, another thing about, you know, my negatives here are the piantas. And, you know, I said this before and I'll say it again. I can't stand the piantas either because, like, you know, because for one thing, they treat Mario like hot garbage. Because, you know, like, you know, they accuse him of all the shit that happened in Isle Delfino, even though it's clearly wrong. And not only that, though, but they're absolutely complete fucking dumbasses too. Because, you know, they can clearly see both Mario and Shadow Mario, two completely different entities, to actually, you know, just like one stopping the other. They can clearly see that, and they still treat Mario like he's a criminal. And, you know, and they're still absolute assholes to him. And that's the reason why that, you know, that's where I really cannot stand them at all. Like, they're just obnoxious jerks, and it really makes you feel less inclined to actually want to help them. Because, like, the difference about it is that, you know, in the other main Mario games, you know, with the whole plotline of Peach getting kidnapped, and, you know, at least, you know, for as much that, you know, I'm not really the biggest fan of Peach per se, because, well, at least in the earlier games where she comes off as a ditz. At the very least, though, she's not unlikable, because, you know, she does make up for her kindness, and, you know, it does feel rewarding at the very least. But in this game, however, with the piantas, you know, despite the situation they were in, they were still jerks to Mario, and that really does make me feel less inclined to even want to help them. And, you know, especially with Yeah, I know. I probably said, you know, the whole thing with the postcard where you get absolutely nothing for doing all that. It goes to show, yeah, congratulations, you wasted your time. Gee, thanks, game. I'm never more play you again here. But as far as the Shine Sprites, though, they are absolutely inconsequential because, you know, because we actually, if you're going after the mandatory Shine Sprites, the only important thing is actually just a matter of going after Shadow Mario, which is actually up to episode 7 of each of the levels. Because, yeah, the other Shine Sprites, they're just something that you just so happen to get. Because, like, the difference between this game and Mario 64 is that the Power Stars actually do have relevance, in which, you know, you're actually needed to get the Power Stars to make progress through the castle. And, you know, actually, you know, be able to power it up more. And of course, you only need 70 Power Stars to actually beat the game, though. So just another of those. And all the other ones, like, the rest of them are just, you know, optional ones or just the secret Power Stars. But, you know, but at the very least, they do have a significance to the overall, you know, quote-unquote plot of Mario 64. Sunshine, however, you know, like I said, it's only a matter of going after Shadow Mario and chasing after him in each of the 7 episodes of the levels. But, you know, the Shine Sprites are just so happen to pick up. So because of that, then they're just inconsequential is what it is. So, you know, it is, despite the fact that the Shine Sprites are, you know, very much essential for the Piantas and their survival, and, you know, and also, of course, despite the danger that they were in with the missing Shine Sprites. But yeah, other than that, though, then, you know, because of the fact that, you know, and I would say that, you know, it could be my fault, though, because, I mean, I was one who was doing 100% completion, but I had to do it for this Let's Play at the very least, getting all the Shine Sprites. And, you know, because of all that I had to go through with how obnoxious the level design can be, and, you know, with some missions, and it can be, you know, just overall obnoxious, then it kind of did leave a bad taste in my mouth because of it, though. So because of that, then out of all the 3D Mario games, then this would have to be my least favorite. Because, you know, with because Mario 64, you know, even though it's aged for one thing, though. Well, I mean, for one thing, it was the very first 3D Mario game on the N64. But, you know, despite the fact that it hasn't really aged that well, though, I still got enjoyment out of it, though. Part of it is because, you know, I do have a nostalgia factor with that game. And, you know, and now Mario Galaxy on the other hand, oh, man, thankfully, you know, it's actually much better crafted there. And, you know, and that's one thing, you know, I really do. I love Mario Galaxy. But, and also Odyssey, you know, Odyssey is much larger as well, but, you know, but it's still fun as well. But I will say, though, that, you know, if you ever do plan on playing Super Mario Sunshine, I would say you're probably better off just going for the mandatory Shine Sprites and not doing 100% completion because, you know, unless you want to challenge them, I mean, unless you're curious, so, I mean, by all means, but you know, if you only go for the mandatory ones, then it'll definitely save you a headache, and so that's why that if I were to ever go back to playing Super Mario Sunshine, I'm not going to do 100% completion ever again, though, because it's way too obnoxious to actually, you know, find enjoyment in, and, you know, maybe if I were to actually go back and do just the mandatory Shine Sprites, then, you know, then maybe my opinions on the game might change, though, but, who knows, but overall, then, yeah, it did leave a pretty bad taste in my mouth because of it, though, because of, you know, all the shit that I had to go through, so, yeah, I wouldn't really recommend doing 100% completion, again, unless you're absolutely really curious, so, but other than that, though, you know, I wouldn't say it's terrible, though, I mean, because, like I said, the game controls very well, and, I love how the game looks, and, you know, the soundtrack is nice as well, but, you know, but a lot of the design choices that Nintendo does, they're just not good design choices, and, you know, and I also forgot to mention the secret courses in Isle Delfino, you know, those other ones we had to do. That's, yeah, I've had such a miserable time, especially the fucking pachinko, oh god, pachinko, and also the Poison River, god damn, yeah, those really show how poorly designed they also were as well. So, but yeah, that though, I would say that you know, if you ever want to play Super Mario Sunshine, you know, it's still, you know, available on the GameCube. Just get a copy of it though. Or there's also the well, yeah, it's online though. But there's also the 3D All Stars for the Nintendo Switch. So there's that as well. I know they were also planning on doing the NSO release for Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube app on the Switch too. But unfortunately, it still hasn't been released yet, and I don't know when they're going to release it though. And that's actually the whole reason why I had to play the game on the original RAW version on the GameCube with the copy of it, because, you know, because I wanted to do this on the NSO, but Nintendo still, to this day, has not released it, and so I thought that maybe, you know, doing 3 videos a week for Luigi's Mansion and then Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, that would actually buy them enough time to actually release the game on the NSO, but no, they still haven't released it, so I had to go ahead and hook up my my GameCube console and play the raw footage, or raw version on there. And it was actually kind of a pain in the ass as well, because I was trying to get my damn GameCube to start playing the game, because it was definitely showing its age as well. So I need to get myself a refurbished one in that case. So, but yeah, other than that, then I guess that's all there is I have to say about Super Mario Sunshine. You know, with you know, with all that I had to do, then yeah, in my opinion, it's not really well designed kind of game as well, especially how punishing it can be at times as well, where Mario just dies for the slightest setback right here, which doesn't really happen very often in other 3D Mario games, at least as far as I remember. But this game can be pretty obnoxious about it too. So yeah, like I said before, if I were to go back to this game, I'd rather just do the mandatory Shine Sprites just by going out to Shadow Mario, and that's it. I am not doing 100% completion ever again. Like, no, I'm not going through that shit. So anyway, so that's all there is I got to say about this game now. So so for the next future plans, I know for one thing I have, well, there's the 10th anniversary of this channel coming up. Yeah, would you believe it? The 10th anniversary of this channel coming up pretty soon, so I do want to do a little reflection on that. And for the next Let's Play, I'm going to be doing is, of course, I'm going to be doing a second marathon project. So just like I did with the Super Mario Brothers Super Marathon, the marathon I did for the classic Mario games for like the NES trilogy and then Mario World. So I did that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do another marathon again. This time with another game franchise. And well, I will definitely be providing hints on my posts, but you know, but it's definitely for another game character that. Well, actually, for one thing though, the first thing I'll just drop that, you know, it's part of a franchise that actually does share the same franchise in the Mario series. You know, just different characters as well, which I'm pretty sure you guys might know about as well. So. But yeah, that's actually what it is here. So next project is going to be a second marathon project that I'll be going back to. And as far as Mario games go, for the next time we go back to the Mario universe, there are some other Mario games I do want to catch up on. Like, you know, there's like the let's say probably like the Super Mario Land games, or maybe a couple of the Mario RPGs, like or maybe one of the spin-offs. But of course, if I were to do for the next 3D Mario game, the next 3D Mario game I'll be doing for the Let's Play of is, oh man, I'm so happy to say this, Super Mario Galaxy. And that is something I'm definitely excited for, because I fucking love Super Mario Galaxy. It's one of my absolute favorites, and that is something I'm looking forward to. But that might be, you know, quite a long time from now, though. So I mean, let's see. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for this whole journey of this game, and you know, I'm actually kind of glad I was able to go back to you know, just finally doing a 3D Mario game after a decade. You know, since I did Super Mario 64, and I haven't really touched upon another one, you know, since then. But I finally went back to it because I feel like it's long overdue. So, yeah. So again, thank you guys so much for this whole journey, and so I will see you guys for the next marathon project that I'll be doing, and I will be making the announcement. Well, actually, I'll just be dropping a couple hints, and then I'll just make the full announcement of what the marathon is going to be about. Anyway, because that's you know, something that was I'm going to be going back to, you know, just doing another one. And so yeah, hope you guys look forward to it, and so I will see you guys next time. So stay tuned. Until then.